Wave is here. Temperatures in the 90s across the area, and next week they could get even hotter. We have team coverage tonight. Our chief meteorologist Bruce Sussman will have the forecast details in a moment, but first, Lisa Balick joins us with some very important safety reminders. Lisa?
Jeff, it's interesting. People forget that Oregon and Washington have some of the highest rates of skin cancer in the country. Now, scientists still are not exactly sure why, but I'll tell you one thing. They say that people are heading out into the sun without any UV protection. The sun's out and so are we, soaking up that vitamin D. But more and more of us in the Northwest are developing skin cancer, even the most deadly kind, melanoma.
We've seen patients here at OHSU who've developed melanoma in their teens and died in their 20s. We've seen some really sad, probably preventable deaths from skin cancer.
Most of us know we're supposed to put on sunscreen, but we forget or figure we're not going to be out that long.
For me, I kind of like getting a tan, you know, even though I know it's bad for me. It's always fun to have a tan, especially in Portland when we're known as being like pasty Portland.
Do you wear sunscreen when you're out?
Oh, definitely. I just got back from California and I am getting over a really bad sunburn because I didn't wear sunscreens.
When we do apply sun protection and send the kids out for the day with it, it's not enough.
If you just apply it once, that's good, but that's not really enough protection for the whole day. So it's helpful if you apply it several times throughout the day and more frequently if you're going to be swimming.
And in fact, you're supposed to reapply it after the skin is dry. The message to stay protected from the sun's rays is loud and clear for those who have lost loved ones to skin cancer, like Jennifer Burlingame.
In the end, that she ended up passing away from it, so that's obviously really sad, and it makes you become more aware about protecting yourself all the time.
That's why she's teaching her kids to see sunscreen as important to put on again and again whenever they're outside.
It's hard sometimes as a parent to always know when you're keeping your kids protected. You'll feel like you've put on enough and look over and they're bright red, so we just keep putting it on and hoping that, you know, for the best. hoping they'll stay as white as Oregonians should be.
The pasty Oregonians. Well, I'll tell you one thing I learned today that was interesting. I was always pretty dubious about these spray-on sunscreens, if they actually worked, but the doctor says absolutely these are perfectly fine, especially for kids. It's hard to put all that slather, that cream on there, so instead the spray is perfectly fine to use. Just make sure you keep putting it on them over and over while they're out in the sun. Live in downtown Portland, Lisa Balick, KOIN 6 News.
Reminder, time to check in with Bruce right now. How hot did we get, Bruce?
Well, we made it to 90 degrees so far in Portland for the first time since last September, and our current temperature here at 5 o'clock is 90, so we are holding on to the heat. We hit 90 about an hour ago, and we haven't let go. Now, the hottest day of the year, that's what we've got going right now, that's leading us toward the hottest night of the year. So what should you expect in the temperature department as you go through your Friday night? 7 o'clock, still 85. 8 o'clock, 82. 9 o'clock tonight, it will continue to be 78 degrees, and finally by 10, we're dropping to 75. That is rare for this kind of cool down. It only happens during heat waves, but as we've been talking about, we are in one. So just know it's going to be a long, hot night ahead if you don't have air conditioning. And when I come back in a few minutes, more on the heat wave plus the 4th of July forecast. Jeff?
All right, Bruce, lots of folks will be out on the river, and the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office wants to remind you not to drink and drive while boating. A lot of people will be hitting the water this weekend to cool off, and deputies will be ramping up their patrols as part of what they call Operation Dry Water. Just like driving a car, it is illegal to operate a boat with a blood alcohol level of 0.08 or higher. And stay with KOIN 6 News for continuing coverage of the heat wave. You can find the latest forecast online along with information about cooling centers and some neat ways to stay cool.